Meet Jamila. She's a teenager but has experienced more hardship in her short years than many do in a lifetime. She lives in Eastleigh, a Somali neighborhood in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. It's where a vast number of women have been reporting serious cases of male exploitation. This was Jamila last year, living in a brothel.
لكن أنتنا أنكرسنا عندنا يا ما قاعد وردا سنته يا حاليا ما يشرمتين كوا لكن أنا كورسا مالد وأصوب كلا جو ماشي أنت ساحني سوانا دقنا.
Jamila and others were being exploited by Somali men coming from the West. They marry the girls and then abandon them. It's known as vacation marriage. Although the practice of vacation marriage or sex tourism was long known within the Somali communities worldwide, it was seen as a taboo subject. But when our story came out, it created an intense debate. I am now back in Eastleigh, Nairobi, to find out if anything has changed. Jamila is no longer living in the brothel. In fact, this is an extraordinary tale of how her life has changed. After our film was aired, her story exploded on social media. Twitter was alight with the hashtag Justice for Jamila. And a fierce debate began on Facebook on who was to blame. On top of that, nearly 1 million people viewed it on YouTube. That's what takes us to Melbourne, Australia. One person who saw it on YouTube and decided to do something about it was Ferdosa. She has just given birth to her own daughter. She set up a GoFundMe page to raise money for Jamila.
I saw how vulnerable and how low and how sad she was. I was angry, I was upset, I had different emotions, but I wasn't very much surprised because I lived in Nairobi and I worked with young girls, young vulnerable girls, did different community programs, and I knew things like this were happening.
The page raised $15,000.
Throughout the day, it kept on piling up and piling up and piling up. And I was like, wow, this is happening. You know, I was very excited. And within 3 days, the money was all raised. And because the story was very touching, so many people were touched. So many people wanted to make a difference.
And it did. The money Ferdosa raised has changed Jamila's life. I went to visit her in her new home. It's a one-bedroom flat, but to Jamila, it means everything.
هذا لكني مشان أسكي عيارسة برصد بنانك وبحسة عيال درس عيال عيارسة سو نظافة ديدوس كفي عنته ماشي نظافة حتى ملهين بفرنتين ودحين حتى ماشي عمل أنت يكون لها بكبرياء لا نرجع هذا قال أنت هذا تي في هستا من الموفي الداونايا
She has also used the money to set up her own small business and is now the proud owner of a fruit and veg shop. It's called Masha Allah, meaning what God wanted.
كذا أنت ونقول مرة مكلها إلا قرب قالوا هرلي أنت وسعودار روا.
Another woman helping Jamila change her life is the police chief of Eastleigh.
كريمنا شولة وتطيق كده وأنا أمبوا كل siku wanatoroka wewe complain ya watoto ni mingi na wewe nitakufukuza hapa. Wewe aondoe simple take note. Hii umbwa iondolewe.
Jawahir Muhammad has a no-nonsense approach to law and order. She's a local legend, trusted by women, feared by men. They follow her like a rock star around the streets as she lays down the law. carrying her distinctive stick. When we met her last year, women were queuing, complaining about male exploitation.
Okay, give me his number.
She dealt with more than a dozen women every day.
Please, can you come to my office? I have your wife here. Your wife, Ayan, Isa Sala.
Today, she's patrolling the streets to watch over vulnerable girls. She warns the local taxi drivers they must report to her if they see anything suspicious.
Any child who is not 18 years old, below 18 years old is a child. If you take a child to your taxi and you see somebody else like a man inside, you come and report. No, immediately report it. Please, immediately report it, because if you see a small child who have a school uniform and the time of school is not yet still, and you are driving her to another destination, there is something fishy.
Jawahir tries to protect the women and still keeps a close eye over Jamila.
war iska daayaan ilaa waliba adiga fiirsanaysaan kugu wadaa iska daa gabdhaha yarka oo Kenya inta Nairobi ma taad ku cunayso Jamila hadda waa ka soo baxday kuwa kale ku jirana waa ka bixinaynaa insha Allah waliba intaan xukunka isleeyahayo nin diaspora ka imaada gabar dambe meeshan kuma ciyaarayo.
Back in Australia, Fardousa is mentoring Jamila as she grows her little empire. The two women regularly keep in touch.
والله قروحة نقطة I can't believe ما شاء الله different أو إكتا يعني مرة رأيك هذا بيسي
الحمد لله.
hello high five شمسة كدا.
While $15,000 was raised, she has an allowance of $400 a month to make sure the money is spent wisely.
هاي إيجي شيء business كادي دكانكي iyo meeshii qudaarta
fiicanta abaawe kala socota alxamdulillaah waa isku day inkasta ay bicsharada ugu cusub tahay laakiin waan dadaalayaa
ma sha Allah business kana xooga saar inaad markasto aad ku dadaashid aad ka give up gareynin uu ku fiicnaanayo markaas.
She did what she had to do to feed her daughter. I believe every person in the world is worthy of something good, of a better life.
For Jamila, there are still challenges ahead. She hasn't fully recovered from her ordeal. But thanks to the power of social media and the generosity of strangers, life for her and her daughter is looking brighter.